Good morning to you. Good morning. Adrian says, me? To you! Good morning to you! Am tapping me? Yes! Good morning. It's Thursday, right? Thursday, June 20th, 2024. I wrote it in the title, but there is a fun thing to watch after this stream. I'm very excited about it. Juliet did the 2023 breakfast stream favorites. They've actually been done for a bit, but there was just other stuff going on, so I haven't been able to post them. But we're watching them today. So all of the fun breakfast stream moments that y'all voted on to have included will be happening after. So yeah, that's at 10:15 a.m. So a little over an hour from now, and that will be on YouTube. Radio Dread's got the link. I watched it and I was like, this is very funny. It's very funny. So Juliet did a really, really great job. I added like one tiny thing at the end. As a little fun little stinger. But otherwise I didn't touch it. So they did great. They did really great. Anyway, Matt will be up here in a second with a coffee. I figured it made more sense for one of us to be here instead of just sitting on crotch. It's like, that makes more sense. We should do that. So I'm here. I'm going to read some of these alerts. We had 24 months from DTran365. That is a 2. Congratulations on the 2. We had 69 months from Reed. Nice. 39 months from Genesis. 510 bits from Anise, who says, just wanted to see the Twitch shenanigans. Have a bird. Thank you for bird. I appreciate bird. How long have we been doing breakfast stream? September is 6 years. Or the start of 6 years? Yeah. Jess says at least a week or 2. That's not incorrect. It'll be 6 years at the beginning of September, so we're coming up on that. There she is. The bringer of coffee.
Can you hand me the thing?
I can hand you the thing.
Thank you for the thing. My glasses are very dirty.
You've been drinking decaf as well.
It sucks. I hate it.
I'm sorry. I've drank exclusively decaf for like a long. We're like going on like a year and a half, 2 years.
I'm going back to caffeinated.
Chrysalium says she's talked about it on her streams. You've talked about not having
hate it.
caffeine. But I mean, you were having like some sleeping issues, right?
Still having sleeping issues, not on caffeine.
Well, there's probably an adjustment period, right?
It's been like 3 weeks.
It's probably a long adjustment period. M. Tappet says, I cannot handle coffee with IBS. Same. Having caffeinated coffee is a bad. It's a bad. But since caffeine has never affected me mentally, it's not like I'm missing out. And because I like the flavor of coffee, I can just have decaf and like nothing changes. The only real problem is that sometimes we'll go somewhere and people are like, oh, I want to get coffee. And I'm like, okay, so we'll go to like a coffee shop. And sometimes they don't have decaf. I've been to multiple coffee shops where I'm like, do you have decaf? And they're like, no. And I'm like, I get it.
I went to a place yesterday that only had cold brew coffee. Mm-hmm. They were a bakery. Someone I was with was like, can I get coffee? Because they had the big carafes. And they were like, no, we only have cold coffee. We were like, weird, but okay. And then they put it in a hot coffee thing with like the hot coffee lid.
I will, when I think of a bakery, like if I'm trying to think of if I want cold or hot coffee with a baked good, the answer is hot. Mm-hmm. I guess everybody's different. I will drink both hot and cold coffee. But if I'm going to have a baked good, I'm like, no, I want hot. I want a little hot. Mm-hmm. Penguin Frog says, some coffee shops are weird. There's a lot of weird coffee shops. There's a lot of weird coffee shops, but also that was a bakery first and foremost, right? So, like, coffee is... In my opinion, coffee shouldn't be an afterthought of the bakery. Because I think those things go very much hand in hand.
They had like 20 different types of tea. I ended up getting an herbal tea for myself, and that was hot. They were able to give me that hot.
Okay. Well. Rita just says, remember those special coffee shops you talked about with Josh? The Breakfast Stream Favorites video is great. It's great. Yeah, we ended up not going to any of those coffee shops because I don't want to. Feels like an awkward situation. Renee says chicken. Coward. Yeah, I just... it feels like a bit of an awkward situation. But the other thing is that I feel like that's a very expensive coffee.
There's an upcharge for those types of coffee?
Well, it's like you tip your barista, mm-hmm. But like I feel like you should tip more. Does that make sense? Like if someone is going through the trouble, and quite honestly, the danger of serving hot coffee while scantily clad, I feel like that's probably more deserving of a bigger tip or something. That just means that the coffee is really expensive. This was like a nickel, so probably just keep drinking this. We got 17 months from Rays of Sunshine. Lost Vagabond gifted a sub to Malier. 40 months from Slick Duke, 43 months from Lost Vagabond, 69 months, nice, from Chrissy G, 30 months from Devoid Art, 24 months from That Tall Nerd. Congrats on the two. We Win gifted a sub to Jam Cop. JCGX also resubbed for 69 months, nice. 68 months from Renee. We'll get a subscription from Meme Lord 5500, welcome. And 15 months from Dark Trium 7. I feel like I haven't seen Josh. Because we were talking about Josh. He was the one I was talking to about all those coffee shops. Yeah. I feel like I haven't seen Josh in 5 years.
He'll be back soon.
He will be back soon. But, like, dear Lord. He'd been gone so long. Mm-hmm. And he has a tendency when he's in town to be on Breakfast Stream like once a month.
At least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like he, I've told my friends, like I've made it very clear to folks in the Raleigh Collective that if someone wants to be on Breakfast Stream, they just need to ask. Like I typically am not going to go out of my way to ask other people unless like Mao is gone and I want a co-host. But I've always told everyone, like, if you want to be on the show, just like...
Venser wants to be on Breakfast Stream.
That's a little harder. If you want to be on the show, just let me know.
You could go do it at their house.
You can do it. Yeah.
Are you trying to be Venser? Are you upset?
Come over.
It's 9 a.m. Do you know where your Jepson is?
Come over here.
Venser would get your socks.
He's coming over here to... Don't scratch the couch. Don't do it. Why don't you jump up on my lap? I'll make room and everything.
Capo.
You miss Jepson? No. Yeah, Jepson is the only person who... I don't want to phrase it like invites himself, because I've told everyone that they can just, be on the show, but like...
You would like some heads up from anyone, at least.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, a day in advance is preferable. But Jepson always gives me that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I don't think anyone else... Haley has asked to be on the show before to, like...
Talk about sewing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like after she worked on Snavy or worked on Chikorita, and like, it's like, I want to come and talk about that and like, do it. Oh baby, come here. Come here, little child. There we go. Let's put you up here, because when you're in my lap, you're good.
And he says, but y'all have keys to everyone's houses. What prevents them from coming in whenever?
I mean, we have keys to everyone's houses. Not everyone has keys to our house.
I mean, someone from each household has a key to our house.
That's true. Everyone should be able to get in. Mm-hmm. They would have to talk to whoever has the key.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could. I don't know. They don't do that. Maybe because they do feel bad to like suddenly show up on breakfast stream. Hi, buddy. Are we good now?
We haven't fully relaxed. No. Chess says, I'm busy during breakfast stream time.
What are you doing? Oh, that's right. Running the show. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Forgot. He tried to make his exit. Child.
What about my lap?
I wish he would just lay down. I gave him food. He woke me up at... Oh. I just realized. Mm-hmm. So he's been waking me up at like 7 to 7:30. Mm-hmm. Because I had disabled his third thing.
Okay.
Because he was wanting it earlier, and I was like, well, I want to be more in control about what you're eating. So he's been waking me up around 7:30, and depending on what time I went to bed, I'll get up and feed him that and then go back to bed. This morning, he woke me up much earlier, and I got up and gave him food, and I'm only now realizing, as I think back to what time that was, that was like at 5:35, and he has an auto feeder that goes off at 5:45, which means that he woke me up 10 minutes before he ate. I was so tired, I was like, okay, buddy, and then I gave him food, and then I went back to sleep, and then 10 minutes later, he just got food. Huh.
Did he wake you up at 7?
No.
He was too full.
Yeah. Which, kind of preferable. Yeah, actually, like, if you look at my little sleep stats, he also wrote Gullible on the ceiling. He's a cat. Silly. Yeah, when you look at my sleep stats for the past... it's a while, like 2 months maybe. There is a period of time, almost...
Sapphire Becca says, right, he wrote it on the floor.
I didn't. there's a period of time, usually at 7 a.m., where I'm awake for several minutes. The problem is sometimes I'm awake and then I wake up. And that's dangerous. If I got in bed just a little bit late, like if I've been working or something and I don't get in bed until 2, if I wake up at 7 and then I can't get back to sleep, then I'm like, neat. Guess I'm awake now. It's fine. It's fine. Tokunut says, you can function, though. I mean, you can. You can. This all started after his incident in April.
Yeah.
Because before that, he was getting through the nights pretty easily. And then since then, I get woken up almost every single day at the same time. There's been a few days, like on the weekends or whatever, where he'll occasionally let me sleep. But usually I'm getting up.
He lets you sleep if I'm not here.
Yes. Yes, that is 100% true. I don't understand that at all.
Me neither.
I do not understand that at all. If Mao is not... He never wakes up Mao, but if Mao isn't here, and it's just me here, he will let me sleep. I just don't understand why that is. Anyway. He goes and looks around. Maybe. Maybe that's it. We got 41 months from Twig the Viking Hippie, 15 months from Haley92, and 62 months from Shy. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coffee!
40 bits of Shy says, hey, it says Gullible on the ceiling. Huh, so it does. Oh, you stole my lungs. You need your lungs. Do you need both lungs? Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
There's a lot of parts of the body you can get away with just one. But I think you might need both lungs. Haley says, not really. They deflated one of mine for a while. Maybe you can just get by with one? I don't know. I don't know how this works. I'm not a doctor. Don't give me a knife.
Don't listen to him.
Don't listen to me. I can't give you medical advice. My advice is, why do we have 2 lungs? There's a lot of space in here we could be using.
For
shopping. You go to the grocery store and they're like, did you bring a bag today? Be like, I got one right here. Let's put the tomatoes in here. It's fine. We had 8 months from Bonald Buck and 46 months from Padawan Becca. Thank you. I put my coffee down to deal with the cat. The cat's gone.
Now you have your coffee
now
back.
Now I'm back to the coffee mode. Like Bender with a door in your chest.
I went for a bike ride yesterday.
Tell me about that bike ride.
It was hot. Do you know what the Raleigh high today is?
90 plus. Or maybe just 90.
How is our high today not even 90? What? It's supposed to have been 90 all week.
Yeah, I mean, the temperature can change. What's the high?
89.
Okay.
Our humidity is currently 74%. Anyway, so it was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot. And, I did at least a 20K.
Okay. So 13.
Yeah.
13 miles. Did you find... did you find that even though it was super hot, you could stay relatively cool because you have like the breeze in your face?
Yeah, that did help. And like,
until you come to a stop.
I'll post like the little blurb from Strava into Discord, into the fitness chat.
Yeah.
And I hit my third best on a 10K and a 20K yesterday, despite it being so hot.
What do you attribute that to? Just practice?
Yeah. Getting better.
Yeah. It's warm.
I've been slowly messing with like the saddle height on my bike.
Yeah.
Because I've been feeling like the seat's too low. So
Yeah.
I scooched it up a little bit. And now I think it's just a smidge too high. Just like 2 millimeters too high. Because I need to have it right before I put my new pedals in.
Yeah.
So I think I need to bring it down just a tiny, tiny bit.
Okay. Well, I mean...
But I noticed that when I had moved it up, I've been finding my feet, my arches sit on the pedal when I bike.
Yeah.
When it was low. And I need it to be more towards like the balls of my foot.
Yeah.
So when I moved it up, like that was more natural.
I mean, I'm glad you're figuring all that out. I don't think about any of that, but that's also because I've ridden my bike a handful of times and you've ridden your bike a handful of months. Mm-hmm. So it's very different. It's fine. Snack.
Invented around a puzzle tent, Tiny Eddie's Wilderness Lion Pieces.
Puzzle pieces.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a bit from Padawan Becca. Your friendly chaos bringer is back. Last you heard from me, I was on Christmas break. I graduated nursing school in May, and I recently passed my boards. I'm now an LPN. Celebratory Eddie.
Congratulations.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I don't know that you should celebrate by just eating a lion.
It's pieces of a lion. Puzzle pieces that have a lion on them if you assemble them.
That response was wild. I don't know if you should celebrate by eating a lion. It's pieces of a lion.
Not an actual
You don't have to eat the whole lion. They cut it up. You don't have to swallow it whole. What a ridiculous thing you've said, Stephen. It would be lion nuggets. It's easier to fit in your mouth. Simba is delicious. You know, lions are like big.
Yes, they
very
are very
big.
large.
They are very big. You can see them sometimes in person at like a place where you can see lions, like a zoo.
It's just a big Kepler.
They are big cats. I do really enjoy watching videos of big cats doing small cats things. Like if they have like a big cardboard box,
Coffee.
They'll just sit in there.
they'll jump in it and they're like, yeah, box. And I'm like, oh my god. They're like a tiger is a monster. A tiger can just kill you. At any point, if a tiger's like, I think I want to kill you, it doesn't have to try at all. Like, it's got razor blades in its mouth and in its hands. And unlike Kepler's, they're big razor blades.
And they are stronger.
They weigh hundreds of pounds. And yet, they're just kitty cats. They're just little kitty cats. They're like, oh, I love cardboard box.
Hey, you, come here.
And if you have like a dangle toy, they're like, I love dangle toy.
Oh, look at you.
You're a little lion.
Hey.
He's like, what's happening?
He just laid down.
Okay. Well.
Hi.
Wait, 300 bits from Goldmage, who says, constrictor snakes actually have basically one lung. The other is tiny or non-existent. But that one lung is longer and extends, and they can turn it on or off. Or they can turn on/off different sections of it to breathe while constricting prey, where some parts of it are too tightly constricted to breathe. That's fascinating.
You know how snakes like eat things? And like they have to like open their mouths super big?
It takes them a while.
Yeah, the way they breathe is like there's a hole on the bottom of their, like where their tongue would be if they had a human tongue, so they can breathe while they eat.
Yeah, you would instantly assume watching a snake eat something that, like, you're not breathing.
Yeah.
Your mouth is full. It's fun. I like the idea of just this other lung that they can turn on or off.
Oh, aren't you cute?
Like 5 minutes ago, he
Didn't want you.
and now he's like, "Oh, this is fine, thanks."
Can you hand me that now?
Yes.
16.
It's coffee. It's always coffee.
16.
That was 16. 100 bits from Padawan Becca. It says, any airplane/airport tips for me? I'm flying to Houston next week for the first time. I'm flying out of the only airport Paul still hasn't flown out of yet. Also adding a bullet to the Chaz gun. Airplane airport tips? My first thought was arrive early, and then I was like, it really depends who you ask. Brandon consistently times it so he can arrive at the airport and walk onto the plane.
Yeah.
And, like, he travels enough
He has not missed a flight.
that he knows what he's doing, but that makes me nervous. Makes me very nervous. I trust him.
He has not missed a flight.
He has not missed a flight, but that is how he does it. Get there, go through security. They are actively boarding. There's probably just a few minutes left in boarding. Walks right onto the plane, sits down. And I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, we get to the airport early, go walk to the gate to make sure that it's there, because we have object permanence issues.
Don't speak for me.
You're the one that wants to go walk
You
to
are.
see...
You're the one
You're
who's
the
always
one.
like, let's get to the gate. That's what we talked about going to Japan.
I thought you wanted to go see the...
No.
I've been doing it for you. What's the story where they sell each other's whatever?
Gift of the Magi?
Yeah. Airport Gate of the Magi. I've been going because it's like, I was like, oh, well, Mal wants to see the gate. And you've been going because Steven wants to see the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Well, I guess we can just stop doing that.
Yeah.
We'll have to remember this conversation, which will be hard because it's been so habitual to go to the gate and be like, there it is. All right, let's go get something to eat. Huh. Anyway, did we give any tips at all? No, we... I don't know a good airport tip, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would consider like a tip.
Mm-hmm. Sir Jim says the tip was don't be Brandon from what I gathered.
Alternatively, be Brandon. Do I get there early enough to print out his son? Yeah, this might be one where I would just take information from chat to see if they have anything. Because, like, it's not that I feel inept at flying, I just don't feel like I'm an expert or anything.
That's a good tip, Chaz. Pack bars to prevent needing to buy $23 salads.
That is actually a good tip. That's a good tip. Put some protein bars or snacks or something so you don't have to buy airport food.
Airport food is very expensive.
It is. It's stupid. It's genuinely stupid. So, and also, even if you go to a place that shouldn't be expensive, it is expensive. Like if you go to a McDonald's in an airport, like it's twice as much as a McDonald's on the freeway. Like it doesn't make any sense. That's a good tip. Another tip that I like, but also it doesn't make it probably doesn't make sense for you. It doesn't make sense for everyone, but I do think that it's worthwhile depending on how often you're flying. Is what's the thing called? What's the thing called?
Global entry.
Global entry.
Thank you, Vagabond.
Yeah. Global entry. Global entry is global, and then TSA PreCheck is domestic. I don't know how much TSA PreCheck is.
It's cheaper than global entry, but not by a lot. And if you are flying international, it's worth it to do, like, I think it's $10 extra for global entry.
Yeah. I think it's
It is harder to deal with global entry.
I think it's like a... Global entry is, I think it's like $100, and this is less for Paddle and Back and more just like it's a general thing for anyone that's flying. Global entry is like $100. It covers you for 5 years.
Yeah.
And it includes TSA PreCheck. So
there's been a few, like, very specific few people I've read about, like 2 people who were like, yeah, I didn't get PreCheck with mine for some reason.
And Haley has another good point. If you want to sign up for a global entry, you need to
start it.
Yeah.
Very early.
Yeah, which is another reason why I said it's not necessarily applicable to Becca.
Because Haley was looking at getting it before we went to Japan.
Yeah.
And was struggling to find an appointment.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is you can only do it at certain
locations.
Locations. Everyone was trying to bully me and Alex into getting it. I don't think we were trying to bully you into getting it. I don't think that that's a fair assessment. It's just something that we recommended because it's helpful, but it wasn't
Brandon got it, but Brandon was able to go to a different airport and do the interview because of him traveling.
Because he's always traveling around. Yeah. Yeah, they don't do it at every airport. Mal and I did it years ago.
We drove to Charlotte for it.
Yeah.
When we lived in Myrtle Beach, which is like 4 hours.
But having PreCheck is okay. Having PreCheck is nice, but the global entry thing is better because if you don't have to deal with all of the custom stuff, which can take like a long time.
Yeah.
Like an hour.
Yeah.
So.
Like, coming back from Japan this last time, it was literally, like, there was no one in the global entry line. It was, like, Yumi and Brandon walked up, and we walked straight through.
Yeah, it allows you to get through customs in, like, 2 minutes.
And that happened coming back from China, too. We waited for my dad and Rhonda for, like, 45 minutes.
That is the one downside, though, is that global entry may not be worth it if you're traveling with other people that don't have global entry, because then... you end up having to wait anyway. It's just you're waiting in a different place.
Yeah.
So, anyway, this has been our fun PSA.
Sometimes credit cards will give pay for it for you as a bonus, depending on what your credit card is.
Really?
Give me
Yep.
the bird.
Lisa, sorry we made you wait 30 whole minutes. It was fine. It was fine. And we got to,
Coffee.
chill.
Yeah.
As opposed to standing in line. Yeah, we,
Someone had asked what the interview process for global entry looked like. They basically just asked us questions about, like, where we were going and where we'd been.
Yeah, they were much nicer to Mal than they were to me. I remember that. Because...
He was more formal with me than the lady was with you.
Yeah, but your interview was shorter, wasn't it?
I guess.
I think you had like a few questions and that was it.
Yeah.
And my person asked a lot of questions, but was more chill. But there were a lot of questions. And I was like, this is a lot of questions. And then whenever we got out, I asked Mal, and Mal was like, I had like a few questions. And I was like, oh. Weird.
Well, it may also be something like I'm in some sort of system as a teacher, or was a teacher, because, like, teachers get fingerprinted.
Maybe.
So I was, like, already had a record that was clean.
I already have a record. Anyway, that's... We actually gave no tips. Chaz gave a tip that apparently Alex had already gotten.
Uh-huh.
And then our tip was not relevant. It's helpful information, because I think that pre-check and global entry that can be helpful if you're flying enough and depending on where you're flying, but it's also not particular. Yeah, we didn't really help all that much. But bring a protein bar. Avoid the $23. That's a good tip. Good job, Chaz. That's a good one. We get 300 bits from Jay Lineback. It says, meanwhile, the 35 Celsius heat wave has suddenly vanished from where I lived and has been replaced with a chilly 23 Celsius wind, raging thunderstorms, and constant heavy rain. Oh. I don't think we're going to have to deal with a sudden cold front.
No. It'd be nice if we had some rain.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of watering every day.
That's not the only thing you're getting tired of.
Yeah.
The deer is destroying the garden.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's taken care of now.
I gotta put up the new fencing.
Okay. Yeah, we're working on it. It's been a process.
Yeah.
Because it has jumped into the garden, which the deer last year didn't do. So the deer was only like eating like the edge of the stuff last year, but this year it's like. He says, "I'll bring Leica over to poop in your yard. My parents swear by it." We're trying steps right now, but we will get desperate.
Yeah, I already put out Irish Spring, which is what people say they don't like.
Yeah.
And then I sprayed a different deer product on the stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put
Haley
up a
says,
new
"I'm
gate,
confused
or
about where the
fencing.
deer fits in there." So
She jumps into the U shape, where like under the arch.
there's barely room for a person to stand. She jumps into the garden.
Yeah.
Like into the bed.
Yeah.
And then just walks around and eats everything. So that's not great. And the other thing is that they're, compared to last year there was like plants everywhere. And here, this time, there's a section that is parsley? Is that what that's?
There is a parsley there, but it's where I had the radishes. And
Yeah.
my thought was when the radishes were done, because they're more of a cooler weather plant, because they're done now, they grew and then you pluck them and then they're gone. I thought the melons would grow that way. But then the deer ate all the melons.
Yeah, there's basically there's a lot of room for the deer to land,
Yeah.
basically. So the deer can just jump into the bed because there's not plants there in the way. So the deer has just jumped into the garden. There's hoof prints everywhere, and it just walks around and eats everything. So we keep trying things to get it to stop, and it may have worked.
Coffee.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see if the chowing down has ended. It's extremely disheartening. Like,
Yeah.
it sucks a lot. Like, Mal's been very sad. And how could you not be? You put a bunch of effort into making the garden happen, and then, like, you go out there and, like, everything is chomped down, like, halfway, and you're like, cool.
Like, the green beans have literally no leaves left.
Yeah. Haley says, have you tried netting over the top?
I didn't do netting this year because everything is so tall.
You did it before, right? You did it last year?
I did, but the tomatoes were not as tall as they are already.
It, like, stunted their growth, you mean?
No, I'm saying I planted sooner and the tomatoes are bigger than they were a year ago.
Well, I mean...
They just had more time to grow, so they are now bigger.
That could be an idea, too. Our neighbor gave us fencing.
Yeah.
Like, additional fencing. There's still, like, many things to try, so I'm sure we'll get it figured out. It's just, will we get it figured out by the time...
Everything's gone.
Everything's gone. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. G-Sammer gifted a sub to... Wrecked him. Damn near killed him. 68 months from Jason Jennings. 500 Bits Messiah says, everyone saw the Direct on Tuesday, right? I feel like not enough people outside of fighting game enthusiasts get how insane it is that Marvel vs. Capcom is back. For so long, it was thought to be impossible, but it's back. Yeah, I was excited for folks. It's not a game that I play because I'm not a fighting game guy. But I'm glad that folks get a chance to play it. That's not the only fighting collection, right? Like, there's another one.
I don't know. I never played them.
I don't know if the other... There's another fighting game collection that's a Capcom... And maybe it's Marvel vs. Capcom also? There's something. I don't know what it is. I just know I've seen it before. Anyway. Maybe that's it? There's a Street Fighter collection? I thought the thing that I had seen was a Capcom thing. Oh, Capcom makes Street Fighter, so that's probably it. It's probably Street Fighter. Okay. Let's assume that was correct. I have several video games. And sometimes I'll pick up things if they're cheap, if they're on sale or something, I'll pick them up to have like a more varied variety of games. So like I'm not a fighting game person, but if I saw like the Street Fighter collection real cheap, then I might pick it up. But I haven't. And I think that was a release from like several years ago because I don't remember seeing it lately. Anyway. We got 300 bits of Padawan back. It says, I'm flying from CRW, so I could essentially be Brandon. Also, is bomb the only word to avoid on the plane? You can say anything you want on a plane. Mostly. I'm not a plane expert. 300 bits of Shy says, getting my global entry was interesting. The website would not let me book an appointment, and the help number just stopped accepting me after the first one. I had to force a walk-in appointment. That sounds kind of right. To be honest. There was a... It's depending on where you live, it's either easy or hard. Mm-hmm. And you may have to go to a place. And sometimes they don't answer the phone. We got 300 bits of Padawan Bucket says, we found out they pushed back the Earthbound remake so they can do the Xenogears port for the Switch, releasing February 30th, 2025.
Coffee!
At some point, they probably will release Xenogears again. Because Xenogears is a game that I'm pretty sure is locked to the PS1. I don't think it's ever been re-released. It might be on, like, the PS Now. PS Now? PS Now. PS Now? I think it's still PS Now. Whatever the downloadable thing is. PS Now?
I don't know.
PSN. Which is probably why I'm like, PS Now. The N is for now. PS Now. When I look at you sometimes, I'm not actually looking for you to answer me.
Sure feels like it is.
You do that a lot where, like, you will be like, I don't know, but I'm actually not asking you.
What's
I'm just...
the thing I had for dinner last night?
Bow?
I'm giving you an example of what it's like.
Oh. Sorry. I mean, I guess my option is to look this way, but that's not the direction the mics are in. So that... So I'll say something, and I'll be like, what is that thing? But I'm just like if I was having a conversation with people, that would be me, like, looking into, the middle distance. Sorry to make you feel like I need you to answer. That's not my intention. I apologize. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that. Yeah, I'm not looking at Mao. I mean, I am looking at Mao, but I'm more looking at, like, I know that I can't look this way. Like, I have something very strong in my brain that's like, you can't do this. If you do that, that's not legible. Audible. Audible is legibility for your ears. That's how it works. Anyway, we got 300 or 600 bits really from Will Peters. But first, a game.
Game sale. All Sega Genesis titles are 52% off. The new Young Cranky Kong and Sparrows game is only $69.99.
The Young.
It's 52% off, but it's $70.
That's a very expensive video game.
Yeah.
That's like how much video games cost in the 90s.
Yeah.
In the 90s, a video game was like $10,000. They've gotten cheaper. And then they got expensive again. If you consider, like, the buying power of what that money was back then, games were extremely expensive. It was like $100+ in today money. But even back then, like, there were games that were $70. It's like, oh, you want Young Cranky Kong and the Sparrows? That's $70. Anyway. That was 1,000 Bits from Mathman says, can we get a new game for Steven to play now that he saved the animals, now to rejoin the VOD squad due to starting work next week? Young Cranky Kong. I think Young Cranky Kong is Donkey Kong.
Are the sparrows before they turn into banana birds?
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's like a prequel.
Yes.
Coffee.
I want to replay the Donkey Kong Country games at some point to think about them again. Why is that funny? I just, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to consider them. I want to consider them. I want to think about, like, what that's...
Philosophize on the Donkey Kong.
Yeah, a little bit.
Consider monkey.
Consider Donkey Kong. What I mean by that is, like, there's games, like, every once in a while I like to revisit.
Yeah.
You know?
I know what you mean. It's just the wording was amusing.
Have you considered monkey? The thing I really want to do is I kind of want to play them back to back because I want to see the differences in things. What I really want to do is replay 3. That's kind of the one I really want to replay, but, like, I'm not in a hurry necessarily. All right. Reading Will Peters' message. Good vibes. We just put down our 17-year-old cat who had suffered kidney failure and would have suffered if we didn't. She was put down yesterday, actually.
Yeah, good vibes.
Good vibes. Good vibes. I know that that's extremely difficult because I've been through that more than once. And, you know, kidney failure is, for those that don't know about cats, the kidney failure is extremely common in cats.
Yeah.
It is a thing that cats suffer from, unfortunately. But good vibes to you. And I always tell people this whenever we have a pet death, but like, it's okay to grieve, and it's okay to just feel those emotions. I think that that's an important aspect of that, is to just know that, like, you will be sad, and it is okay to be sad, and it is okay to feel these different things. And then along with that,
there is no timeline for feeling sad too.
That, and then along with that, you may feel randomly happy. Like, because the grief timeline is so strange, sometimes you'll have a period where, like, you come out of that grief and then you feel happy or whatever, and sometimes you feel guilt over that, of like, I should be sad right now, but that also is like completely normal. That's just how it works. And having the reprieve from that grief, from that sadness, can be very helpful in the midst of something very, very, difficult going on. Yeah, then he says, grieving is a roller coaster, not a straight path. It's true. But regardless, good vibes to you, because that's always a difficult thing. We've got 300 from Jay Linebacker, who says, hey, if Phantom Brave, an obscure PS2 tactics RPG from 2004 that apparently only a handful of people, including me, can get a sequel in 2025, anything is possible in a Nintendo Direct. Well, probably. I don't know. I wore my Mother 2 shirt and we didn't even get an Earthbound remake. I almost said sequel. We didn't even get an Earthbound sequel.
Not in English, officially.
You know what? I'm gonna stop referring to the Mother 3 fan translation as the fan translation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop doing that. Because I talked about, every time I talk about the fan translation, there's always someone that's like, well, I want to play something official. I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm just gonna start saying the translation. Leaving out fan completely. Like, Mother 3 was translated.
Isn't the music thing this weekend? Yes, it is.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Like, when? Like, Saturday, Sunday?
I believe it's Saturday. I have an alert set on my phone to go off at like 5 p.m. today that's like, figure out what time that is over here.
Okay. I don't know that we'll watch it live, because I think it takes place, like, morning our time.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Well, we bought the ticket, so you can replay it within a certain time frame.
Yeah.
So.
And, yeah. Agreed.
Mm-hmm. So, I need to figure that out, what time that is.
Yeah. I don't know what time it is, because Satsy was asking. But I'm pretty sure that when I first looked at it, it was like morning our time. Mm-hmm. For those that have no idea what we're talking about, because we didn't even say what we're talking about, there is a Mother music concert that's happening. It's a digital only event, so It's not a physical event you can even go to. But
and there's also like talking, like Itoi's talking with.
There's an interview.
Yeah.
With Suzuki, the composer for Mother 2. So, it's the interview stuff is going to be in Japanese, and it's not going to be subtitled. But obviously the music can be enjoyed, right? Because it's just the music being performed. But it's a digital only event, and there's 2 different sites to get tickets digitally to watch it. And one is Japanese, and one is if you're not in Japan to get tickets. Yeah. So we got tickets. Yeah. Well, ticket.
Yeah, it's a ticket.
You don't need... Yeah. You just buy a ticket, and then everyone in the Raleigh Collective can watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... It would be nice if it gets subtitled at some point. Like, even if it's subtitled by someone else.
Later.
That would be fun. That would be... I wouldn't mind that. That would be great. That would be pretty good. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Japan time, which is 7. Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I was like, I think it's 7 a.m. and it is. It's 7 a.m. Eastern. So we will not watch it then. We will save it and watch it later.
Yeah, I don't know how long we have to watch it, but we should probably figure that out.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll make a time for everyone to come over, and everyone that wants to come over and watch it can come over and watch it. And like Chaz knows Japan, maybe he can tell us
maybe the gist of what they're
the
talking
gist
about.
of what's going on in the interview. Chaz said no. Okay. All right. Jay Linebeck says the stream archive will be taken down July 8th, so it's only up for 2 weeks.
Well, we should probably pick a time because I know there are people going out of town.
Yeah.
Many people out of town.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
To be honest. It's not a huge concern. Josh is back next week, right? I think Josh is back next week after being gone for 100 years. Here, have beans. Things you need to know. The most important thing is that immediately following the show, we ask you to come over to youtube.com/StephenVOD and watch the 2023 Breakfast Stream Favorites. It is hilarious. Radio Dread has got the link. It is now pinned. That starts at 10:15, which is in 15-20 minutes. Mr. Deathkill says, how long is it? It is about like 40 minutes, I think. It's about 40 minutes long. It's very good. It's very good. It's also a reminder that we moved.
Yep.
Because the set changes. Like, the set's kind of similar because the background of Breakfast Stream has been video games for like many years. Mm-hmm. But you can tell that things are, like, changing. So, this is the best set we've ever had, though. Every time we move, we try to improve the set. And this is the best one we've had. There's still things that I want to make better. But, like, things are good. He like says, ooh, you like video games? A little bit. None of the girls like me. They call me a nerd. And they say, you like video games.
What girls in your life currently have said that to you?
None, not like a single one. It's true, girls don't like. Thanks. I think all the girls in my life, for the most part, are video game people. A lot of them. A majority of them. Although, to an extent, most of the people in my life are video game people. Most of them. Rachel, how many women in your life? I'm just like, 2. I know there are more. I can just only think of 2. But there's probably more. Vagabond says you have a mother. It's true. It's true. My mom plays Killer Instinct.
You say that like she plays it all the
like
time.
Every day she's online with the Xbox, like, yeah. I love that. Anyway, beyond the Breakfast Stream Favorites happening in 15 minutes, tomorrow afternoon at 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
I guess
afternoon.
That's not afternoon. It's
tomorrow. 11 a.m. afternoon.
You know what it is? In my brain, everything after 10:30 a.m. is afternoon. that's afternoon. It's not, but in my brain, I'm like, McDonald's breakfast has ended.
It's afternoon.
It's now afternoon. Anyway, tomorrow at 11 a.m., Mal will be finishing, I think.
I need to finish painting all the sea oats grasses on the painting, and then make a decision if I'm putting any of the man-made elements in. And I'm leaning towards not, because the other two don't.
I wouldn't.
I know.
Not that I want to influence your decision.
Well, I want to finish it first and see how I feel.
Yeah, but it seems reasonable that you're going to probably finish that up tomorrow, so...
Yeah.
Watch Mal finish that painting. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then tomorrow at 8 p.m., back into the world of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Shrine time. It's shrine time, baby. Like, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, we're just figuring out where they are, and then probably running out of knowledge of where they are, and then just gonna have to be told where they are. I was told that some of the shrines in that game are basically, they're not impossible to find, but they're really, really difficult because the shrine indicator is here. But in order to get there, it's like an underground cavern that starts miles away. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, we're not going to figure that out. So we'll probably have to just figure out a way for, like, Chaz to give us some hints to lead us in the right direction. We're probably coming up on Chaz hint time very, very soon.
Yeah.
Probably. Okay, folks. That is it. Thanks for being here this morning. I hope that you will choose to watch Breakfast Stream Favorites with us starting in a few minutes. And we'll see you over there. My stomach went, bye. Field trip, field trip, field trip, field trip. You can have a dome, sure. Favorites dome. How about that? That's good. Oh no, the couch, the couch!